everybody, it's Song here. So in this video, I will be talking about Shimmerz texture product. Okay, this is my first information video on Shimmerz product, and stay tuned for more videos. Alright, and I will be giving you guys information on Texturez, Dazzelers, and Dimensionz in this video. And before I get started, I just want to mention again, if you're going to shop with Shimmerz, just mention my name in instructions to merchant or add special instructions to the seller. You're gonna get a free sample size of Texturez or Dazzelers, or a full size of these Dimensionz, alright? So, let's get this video started. The first thing I want to mention is their difference. So the difference between them is their texture or their consistency. So, Dazzelers is the one that is the creamiest, silkiest, that does not have any coarse grain in them. So just let me show you. Okay, let me pull it closer. Can you see the beautiful shimmer? They're all shimmery, okay? See, it's like whipped cream, buttercream, very yummy. See, beautiful, huh? Love it. And see, you can spread them out and use them like paints and things like that. Love that. Definitely beautiful product. So, again, Dazzelers is the one that doesn't have any coarse texture to it. It is very creamy and it's very soft, very silky. Okay? And on the other hand, Texturez has very small coarse grain in them. So it has a sandy texture. It is not smooth, but I love it because it gives a very grungy and a very shabby look, which I love. Let me show you guys. And one thing to mention is that Texturez, although it has some sandy granule texture to it, it spreads like butter. Just like that. You'll feel this coarse grain in there, but they're really fine. So that's why it spreads very well. Okay, can you see it? Very great product. I love it. And again, it is very shimmery, very beautiful, as you can see. Okay, beautiful. And now it's Dimensionz. Dimensionz, again, it is shimmery. And it's a little bit thinner than Dazzelers. Okay, it's thinner than that. It does not have any coarse grain to it. It is like the pearl thing you buy in the market, like liquid pearl and pearl pen. But it is not as thick. So let me show you. Okay, see, it makes a pearl, and the pearl that this will make don't have a peak because it is not as thick, it is not as viscous, so the peak will level itself out, which is a very nice quality to have. Alright, but you don't have to just use it to make big pearls, right? I mean, this is so versatile. Let me show you what you can do. And you see, it has a texture to it as well because it's a pearl product. It can be used as a pearl pen, so it can be used as a texture paste. Okay, you can see it has texture to it, and also use it as a paint. Okay, it is very creamy and I love the texture. So creamy, so silky. It is just like Dazzelers, like you're put it on whipping cream or buttercream of some sort. Very creamy, nice texture, and because it is not as thick as Dazzelers or Texturez, it will not have a raised textures like the Dazzelers or Texturez will have. So you will have a so the texture that Dimensionz will have cannot be built up like Dazzelers. I hope that's making sense to you. Okay, so let me say that again. So because Dimensionz is not as thick as Dazzelers, so when you're making textures using this two or using this three, okay, you will see a difference between how high they can build. Alright, so for example, if this two can build, let's say, 1 inch of texture, okay, let's just say that, then Dimensionz can only make, let's say, half an inch of texture, alright, because it's not as thick. So that's the major difference I'm gonna talk about. Maybe you can try to build a higher texture, raised texture using Dimensionz, but you can try it. But you know, when you are making something in a very fast pace, it is easier to use Dazzelers and Texturez to build a higher texture. But Dimensionz will still give you a texture, okay? It will give you a texture. It is like a very thin spread out texture paste. So, love all of them. And another difference they have is Texturez comes in with some muted color, more muted color than Dimensionz and Dazzelers. Dimensionz and Dazzelers comes in with varieties of bright colors, but Texturez comes in with all those very shabby chic and vintage and grungy muted color like this, which is actually very beautiful. I love it. So that's the difference they have, and the similarities are they both are very shimmery, and they both can be used. They all are shimmery, and they all can be used to make texture. Okay, so that's the basic information on them, and here's how you can use them. Like I just said, you can make texture with them, and you can also make paint with them. All right, so like I said, if you just take a brush, all right, any brush. And let me just borrow some paint here, or something from here, so I don't waste more stuff. Alright, so you put some Dazzelers on your brush, you paint with it, okay? You can totally paint with them, because they're very silky and creamy. They're very nice as a paint. You can just treat them as a heavy body paint, you know? See, you can paint with it. And it has very, very beautiful color payoff. And again, very shimmery, alright? And so is Dimensionz. You can use them as paint. See? Beautiful. See that? Love it. And nice color payoff as well. They're very pigmented pants. They're very pigmented paint. I'm sorry guys, English is not my first language, so I'm having a hard time pronouncing some things if I'm talking too fast, okay? So don't laugh at me. And now I'm going to use textures, okay? Just get some textures on your paintbrush and paint with it. Now, you see the color is very mixed up because I didn't clean my brush, but just to show you, okay, well, to show you good, I'm gonna make sure that it's not contaminated. Okay, you can use it as a paint as well, although it has very coarse grain texture to it. It still gives a very, very beautiful color, and it can still be used as a paint. Okay, can you see it? Just use my finger here. It's still very nice, very, very nice, and it still applies very evenly, and it glides easily on the paper, so I love it. So they can be used both as texture, all of them can be used as texture paste, or it can be used as paint. And there's another great quality about these paints, okay? Let me show you guys what they are. Because for a mixed media crafter, or any of you guys, if you like to add grungy look to your projects, not necessarily has to be mixed media, like we sometimes use embellishment that are not paper, right? So for example, this is a glass vase I have. Let me just show you how well they're gonna go on a glass vase like this. Again, don't want to waste my paint. I'm gonna use the paint from this paper I already have. Alright, I'm gonna have very, very colorful vase afterwards because I'm gonna show a lot of product on here. Alright, see it? See how it just glides on the glass? And it is textures, okay? I mean, what I'm using right now is Dazzelers, okay? See how it just glides on it? Very beautifully. And now I'm gonna show you the Dimensionz. I'm just gonna use my finger, how's that? Because that will be easier to clean up. Alright, see? Again, it just glides on the glass like that. So it goes on the glass very nicely. And now let's go to Texturez. Oh, nice, okay? It goes on the glass like it's not even a problem. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Love how they go on the glass. And yes, I will clean this up because I don't want a glass vase has these, you know. So before they dry, when they're on porous surface, just clean up with water. Alright, so now you guys know they go on glass surface, and it is wood. Of course they're gonna go on the wood, right? I mean, see, no problem. Not even a problem. And here, okay, well, I ran out of paper. See, not even a problem. So, great on wood. Because wood is considered a porous surface, so any porous surface will be fine, alright? And chipboard, of course, definitely okay, because again, it is porous surface. And here is a, oh, where's my medal? I forgot to take the medal to show you guys. I'll be back soon, okay? Alright, I'm back. So the medal I have is just a tin can, alright? It will be, I don't have any bigger metal surface to do this, so I'm gonna use this little can here, not can, but container here. Is that cute? Let me show you. So, Dazzlers go on there like it's not a problem. Alright. And Texturez. Very nicely glide on there. Here's another finger. See? Very, very nice. Love it. I'm gonna wipe my finger off. And I'm gonna show you Dimensionz. Now I'm gonna show you Dimensionz. See? Right? Gone the metal like it's not a problem. I say that a lot. And now here's a piece of acetate. Okay, it's plastic, and yes, they go on plastic. This is the Dimensionz. It goes on plastic like it's not even a problem. And here is the Texturez. Okay, see, just goes on plastic like so easily. And I'm gonna wipe some Dazzlers out of the cap. And see? Perfect. Okay? So, now you know Shimmerz texture product, Texturez, Dazzlers, and Dimensionz. They have what quality they have and what surface they go onto and how good they are, right? Let me do a recap for you. So, the difference is Texturez is more sandy in texture. It has coarse grain in there. And Dazzlers are very silky, creamy, so is Dimensionz, but Dimensionz is not as thick as Texturez and Dazzlers. So Dimensionz, when you are building texture using Dimensionz, it will not be built as high as Dazzlers and Texturez. And Texturez comes in with muted and light colors. However, Dazzlers and Dimensionz offers very bright and beautiful colors, okay? And if you like grungy and shabby chic look, you want Texturez, alright? Texturez are very grungy and shabby chic, perfect for that. And if you like bright colors, Dazzlers is the one, alright? Although they both are beautiful, so you might want both, okay? Alright. And they go on every possible surface you can think of. Metal, paper, you know, porous, non-porous, every surface. Alright? So, that's my information video for Texturez, Dazzlers, and Dimensionz. Stay tuned, and I will have more information videos on other products of Shimmerz. Alright? So, see you later. Bye-bye!